One of the easiest ways to be successful is to have successful relationships. So have you ever wondered why you keep attracting the same types of people, even if they're not what you really want or what you really, really unconsciously need, so you can feel that stability, that security? So in this audio, I'm going to go over a few common traits that people unconsciously attract. And then at the same time, we're going to explore what you might want to consider instead, what you might want to look for instead, so that you can have more meaningful and beneficial relationships for you and the other person. My name is Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so that you can achieve success. And one of the easiest ways to achieve success is to attract what you want and focus on what you actually want to achieve, because many people, they actually focus on what they don't want. And that means that they're going to unconsciously attract things that they don't want, that aren't going to benefit them or benefit the other person. It's not going to align with your goals. So what if there was a way to recognize this so that you could change the way that you think, so that you could then create your ideal future with the relationships that you want, with the success that you want? So I'm going to go over a few different examples here of some traits that people unconsciously attract and what you may want to look for instead. The first one is, a lot of times people, they unconsciously attract things like emotional unavailability. So many people are drawn to partners, friends, people in business, emotionally unavailable. So instead, what if you were to attract someone that you didn't have to chase just because it feels familiar for you or it seems exciting to you? So what's something that you want to attract instead? You probably want to attract people that are emotionally open and who know how to communicate in an honest way. They're willing to invest their time, money, energy into a relationship. This is kind of like how I talked recently on a podcast episode about emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. A lot of people, they know how to build surface level connections with people with emotional intelligence. They understand different emotions. However, are they emotionally mature enough to actually implement that understanding? Do they do that? So think about that. Who do you want to attract? Someone who's open to being emotionally mature and building a true connection that you can actually trust, or someone that you're going to end up chasing for no reason? You're going to feel probably bored after a while, or upset, or frustrated, or irritated after a while. The next one is overconfidence versus something like humility. Now, a lot of people, they're going to attract people who have confidence because everyone wants to be with someone who's confident. However, if someone is so overconfident, this may show the other person that they have a lack of something like empathy, or this may show you that they're arrogant. So this often happens when people are drawn to something like a strong personality. Have you ever met someone and everything seems to be just so right in the beginning, and you seem to ignore certain things because they're really confident in who they are, and you almost believe everything that they say, and you don't really consider any of the downsides? So what if you had a different way, a different strategy to consciously attract different types of people with your unconscious mind? What would you want to attract instead? What is that thing you want to attract? How about a humble individual? Have you ever been around someone and they're so successful, however, you wouldn't even know it? They may have a lot of money, you wouldn't know it. They have an abundance of friends, and everyone gets along with them. They get along with everyone in their family. They have so many wonderful relationships, and you wouldn't know exactly what they do. That's because they're really, really humble. So humble people are often really, really confident. However, at the same time, they're always willing to learn. They're willing to improve themselves. They're willing to self-reflect. And they have that emotional maturity. So people who have humility, they're usually really good listeners. They prefer collaboration instead of competition. They prefer anything that's going to make a relationship feel more balanced, feel more healthy, and feel more successful. Now, the third one, we're going to talk about dependence. A lot of people, they may be unconsciously attracting someone who is really dependent, who wants to cling onto them, who wants to be around them all the time. Maybe this is because a lot of people, they feel valued when they are really, really needed. However, when they're not needed, the dynamic of the relationship is totally different. So what if this dynamic was in your relationship? Don't you think that this may feel one-sided for one person, or both of the people may end up being totally drained? It just feels like this relationship is draining energy all the time. So what can you attract instead? One of the easiest things to attract instead is someone who's independent. Now, this doesn't mean that they can do everything on their own and they don't want to include you. This means that someone values their interdependence. So it's like they have this humble inner confidence. They know how to support another person when needed. They also know how to have difficult conversations when needed. They also know how to give you your personal space. They know how to respect themselves and others. And they know how to help themselves grow and other people grow. They understand that an independent person or a dependent person, they don't necessarily need an independent person. Everyone can be independent in a relationship and they can help each other. The whole point of being in a relationship, any type of relationship, and building beneficial relationships is having people who are willing to help each other independently on each side and work together towards common goals. So if you really want to boost the success of your relationships, consider how you can be around people who do things independently. They have that inner confidence about them. And all the things that you want to attract in a relationship, before I get into the next thing, it's funny. If you ask someone what they wanted in a relationship and another person, they're going to list a bunch of things. Let's say they just list 5 things. If you were to ask them, okay, now it's your turn. What do you bring to the table? Are they going to answer similarly to those things that they want? Because building beneficial relationships, you can ask for so many things in another person. However, when that person is right in front of you, that person, that optimal person, just everything that you want, they have. Are you going to be ready for it? You need to consider that. Are you going to be ready for it? And the last thing that we're going to go over today is drama seeking. A lot of times people, they unconsciously attract drama. People sometimes end up being with friends, with partners who bring up tons of drama all the time. You almost have to ask these kinds of people, what is something that you're enjoying in your reality right now? What's going good for you? Because all the drama, maybe it seems exciting at first, however, that's going to lead to overwhelm, burnout, stress, anxiety. It may lead to any of those things. So what do you want to attract instead? Maybe stability, maybe security. What if you're around people that bring just such a good calm, a consistency, that respect for you? They respected your time, your money, your energy, your boundaries. They respect you when you communicate. They want you to feel heard. They respect your emotions. What if someone gave you that supporting environment instead of one filled with drama? This created peace, security, and stability for you. Don't you think that some sort of really healthy relationship could grow and grow from something like this? So stability, this provides trust and safety in any kind of relationship. So if you're thinking about that you may have, or you may find that you've attracted these things in the past, what are you going to do about it? And what do you want to attract instead? And think about what you can learn from this, the learning of which will allow you to create much better relationships in the future. So think about that now that you know these different traits, because it's time to be ready for those relationships that you really, really want. And if you really want to, you can attract the things that you want easily and effortlessly. You just need to write those things down and focus on them. Put those things in your mind, and then ask your unconscious mind, how can you attract those things easily and effortlessly? And your unconscious mind will deliver the results. So go ahead and comment below what you think of this audio. What's something that you want to attract instead, so you're not unconsciously attracting things that aren't going to benefit your relationships. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately, leaving comments, suggestions, recommendations. It really helps me keep making videos and audios every single day. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.